Hey friends, it's Rick here with Kafonk.com. Today, as a first blog, I wanted to give a background and history to the two founders leading up to the inception of Kafonk. So the two people that started this are Bill Abounty and myself, Rick Chudakoff. Bill has had an amazing career as a singer-songwriter. Starting in the late 70s, he had a few records out as a singer on his own right. And on one of his earlier records, he did a song called This Night Won't Last Forever, which was then covered by Michael Johnson in 1979 and became a pretty big hit. The same song was a hit again in the early 2000s with the group Sawyer Brown. But over Bill's career, he's had, oops, that's me. Let me show you Bill. He's had quite a songwriting career. He's had song cuts by Brooks and Dunn, Robbie Dupree, which I'll get to in a minute, obviously Michael Johnson, Lone Star, a number of other country artists, including Steve Wariner, some amazing hits with him. And in pop, Randy Crawford, more in country, Ronnie Milsap. I could go on, but incredibly talented songwriter. But we first met in 1980 when I was co-producing a guy named Robbie Dupree. Robbie and I had co-written a song called Steal Away, which was becoming a hit, but we needed a follow-up to that song. And our engineer, Gary Brandt, at the time suggested that we meet a guy that he knew, Bill Abounty. And sure enough, Bill brought a song called Hot Rod Hearts, which then became Robbie's second hit in 1980-81. My personal background is I was in a band in the 70s called Kraken out of Omaha. Ended up moving to San Francisco and then Los Angeles, where really the first thing that I produced with the drummer from that band, Peter Bonetta, we were production partners, was Robbie Dupree. And we had a couple of hits. All of a sudden, we're producers. So we went on to have a successful career, produced, we worked with Robbie Dupree, Stevie Goodman. We had a song in Pretty Woman that was with Lauren Wood. We ended up producing Ain't Nothing Gonna Break My Stride with Matthew Wilder, New Edition, Patti LaBelle, A New Attitude with Beverly Hills Cop. Temptations, we made 2 records with the Temptations. We did some work with the Pointer Sisters, Smokey Robinson, Kenny G, Johnny Mathis, anyway, Michael Bolton, Kenny G, right, I said Kenny G, Mike Reed, country. So anyway, we had a nice career. And at a certain point, Bill decided to move from Los Angeles to Nashville. And I followed suit a few years later, getting out of LA in 1993. Shortly after that, Bill and I wrote a song called Somewhere in the Vicinity of the Heart that was a hit for the group Shenandoah with Alison Krauss. So we had a nice collaboration there. We remained friends and wrote more while we were in Nashville while I was still producing some artists. But during that whole time period, I loved Bill's artwork. He had an amazing talent at drawing incredible cartoon type characters, pretty much in the pretty much like Mad Magazine kind of characters, meets R. Crumb kind of characters, if you're familiar with his kind of work from the late 60s, maybe into the 70s, and part of the counterculture cartoon era. And Bill's characters, I always just loved them. I thought they were amazing. So I always felt that the least he could do was do just regular cards with them. But a couple years ago, we came up with the idea to take his art, I would write short 30 to 60-second pieces. We'd have them animated, and maybe we could do something with that. And that pretty much led us up to the point where we tried one without even knowing we were going to have any kind of a company or anything. And when we saw what we did, and I'll talk about more about that first one next time, we knew we had something really, really cool and different that nobody else was doing. So, that's how our lives kind of went over the years through the music business, and then ended up as friends and developing this idea. And I'll expand more about the inception of the company, which became Kafonk, next time. So thanks for checking us out, and I'll see you soon. All right, take care.